Keane.
And Israel approving a plan to capture all of Gaza. The Associated Press says the IDF is tapping tens of thousands of reserves in order to do so. Meanwhile, the Jewish state is promising a stern response to yesterday's missile attack from Yemen on the airport near Tel Aviv. General Jack Keane is with us now, and we were just talking in the break how there's always something going on in the world, but in this part of the world, Israel continues to fight on multiple fronts. They still have hostages that they're trying to deal with. Capturing Gaza in the midst of all of this with the Houthis attacking their airport, how do you see it, sir?
Yeah, well, what's really taking place here certainly is General Zamir came in on March the 5th, and he presented a new plan to the Prime Minister. Credit the previous chief of the Israeli Defense Forces for killing, somewhere in the neighborhood of 2/3, 75% of the Hamas fighters. But there's still several thousand left. And they did that in the past by conducting raids and then moving on to another area where there are Hamas fighters. General Zamir's plan is to take territory and then kill the Hamas or capture them in that territory and depose them from any future ability to have political control of Gaza. That's the end state. They recognize full well if they're not able to do that, it'd be impossible for them to leave Gaza and turn it over to some international force that would be willing to provide security for a new Palestinian-like government. All of that, obviously, is still circumspect, and no decisions have been made. But from a military perspective, what is happening here is to finish off Hamas once and for all, so they cannot have any political ability to control Gaza in the future.
What did you make of that attack on the airport? And I just want to show for everybody here, Israel has an Iron Dome. And we can put it up here on the screen for everybody to see how it works. And obviously, you know this very well, which is this is a way to intercept these missiles that are coming through. But one got through and hit the airport.
Yeah, they have three systems. The Iron Dome defense is rockets against rockets and missiles. And then the mid-course is David Sling. And that's kind of mid-course missiles, some cruise missiles. And then the most advanced ballistic missiles are defeated by Arrow, and also our THAAD missile system, which the United States has given Israel. Those two systems fail, the Arrow defense system and the THAAD missile system, and this missile was able to penetrate the airport. And it also, a similar missile, penetrated Tel Aviv in December. So obviously the Israelis are doing an autopsy on this. What happened? Why did they have failure? But remember, we take it for granted that if a missile is flying, we can knock it down, because we've seen that technology time and time again. But there's always misses. And we don't really account for the misses very much unless there's casualties as a result of it.
Right, because it's also been so successful.
Here, but nobody killed.
It has been so successful.
Yeah,
there is a
absolutely.
rendering of a possible Golden Dome system here in the United States that we can show for everybody. This would be kind of a similar concept, if you can pull that up and everybody can see. This would be the idea, was, some sort of protection. Do you like this idea? Well,
first of all, it's desirable to have a new concept to deal with where technology is going. We can deal with point defense, is what essentially Israel is dealing with there. In other words, defend Washington, D.C., which we're currently doing, defending the West Coast against the North Korean missile attack, ballistic missile attack, which we're currently doing. We can do more of that on the ground than the United States. Not cheap, obviously. But the real threat is coming from hypersonic glide missiles. In the summer of 21, China launched what's called, apologize for the term, fractional orbital bombardment system, a hypersonic missile that was launched off the coast of China, circumnavigated the globe in the southern hemisphere and came back to China. While we knew it launched, we could not track any of it. So being we can't track it, we can't kill it. And advanced cruise missiles are getting to the point where their range is increasing, and likely they may have the capability to do much the same. So given that technology, how do we defend against that? The answer is in space. The point defense system that I just described prior cannot do that. So you need sensors in space. You need interceptors in space. That means weapons on satellites to do all of that. And you need a lot of them because you're dealing with the globe. You're not just dealing with IBM missile coming from Russia or China in the northern hemisphere. These things can circumnavigate the globe. And when they get back into the Earth's orbit, they're moving at 5 times the speed of sound, which is very difficult to defeat even in the Earth's orbit. So, desirable. The big question mark, is it feasible? We've got to do the research and analysis to make certain of that before we pour a lot of money at it. Listen, this is a presidential priority, and it has worthiness and desirability. But we got to be careful how far we go before we dump a lot of money on it. We're already going to put $25 billion on it to get us started in this. It could cost hundreds, but we've got to make certain that it is feasible. And I think the administration obviously is aware of that. Secretary Hegseth in the Defense Department is aware of that. I talked to officials about this last week on this very subject. So, yes, this is a desirable program. It's in concept and theory phase in terms of its fulfillment. And we've got to do the research and development and make sure that it's feasible.
Such wise thoughts, and thank you for joining us on a Monday. General Jack Keane, thank you.
Yeah, great talking to you. And
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.